Hello and welcome. I'm Daffy Roth, and this is Star Wars Rogue Squadron for the N64. So, in this episode, we're just going to go ahead and cover the manual and, go from there. As always, the gameplay section will generally be uploaded 15 minutes after this video goes live. So, all right. So, first off, let's cover what we got here. Here you can see the cover, which again, this is the front and back. Love the layout so far. Love the colors. Love the little blueprints that they have with the Y-wing. Just fantastic overall. I'd say this is probably one of my more favorite parts of the Star Wars universe is the dogfighting and the fighter aircraft. So all right, moving on. We have our obligatory warning. Please carefully read the consumer information and precautions booklet included with this product before using your Nintendo system, game pack, or accessories. And of course, this seal is your assurance that Nintendo has reviewed this product and that it has met our standards for excellence in workmanship, reliability, and entertainment value. Always look for the seal when buying games and accessories to ensure complete compatibility with your Nintendo products. All right, and then we have our table of contents. Again, loving the colors and the looks like probably that's going to be Bespin based on the colors and the clouds. Moving on, we have our overview. It is time of great rejoicing in the galaxy. Luke Skywalker, with the help of Wedge Antilles, has blown up the Death Star, but there is little time to celebrate. The mighty Empire is gathering strength for a determined all-out assault on the Rebel forces. To save the Rebel Alliance from this Imperial onslaught, Luke Skywalker, Wedge Antilles have assembled Rogue Squadron, a group of 12 of the most skilled, battle-tested starfighter pilots in the Alliance. The versatile Rogue Squadron is assigned the most difficult and challenging missions. You'll fly into battle as Luke Skywalker, the leader of this elite unit. The missions take place during the time between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. Your superior officer, General Recan, will brief you on your mission objectives and advise you on tactics to help you defeat the Imperial opposition. Wedge Antilles and other Rogue Squadron members will be your wingmates on your missions, which will range from rescue and reconnaissance to search and destroy and more. You'll take on the Empire in dogfights and air-to-ground combat over far-flung worlds of the Star Wars universe. As you improve your skills, you'll be able to pilot more advanced craft, fire more powerful weapons, and fly more challenging missions. In the struggle between the forces of freedom and the forces of darkness, your skill and daring will make all the difference. Yeah, because blowing up the Death Star wasn't, good enough. Also, kind of weird that Luke would get leadership of Rogue Squadron versus Wedge. Considering that Wedge is more the seasoned pilot, but nah, whatever. Again, great picture of the. I love the Y-wing, so, and I believe that is Bespin. All right, moving on. Your Nintendo 64 controller. Your control stick function. The Nintendo 64 controller contains a control stick that uses an analog system to read the angles and direction of its movement. This allows subtle control that is not possible using the conventional control pad. When turning the control deck power on, do not move the control stick from its neutral position on the controller. If the control stick is held at an angled position, as shown in the picture to the right, when the power is turned on, this position will be set as neutral. This will cause games using the control stick to operate incorrectly. To reset the neutral position once the game has started, let go of the control stick so it can return to its center position, as shown in the picture to the right. Then press start while holding the L and R buttons. The control stick is a precision instrument. Make sure not to spill liquids or place any foreign objects into it. I've only played the Shadows of the Empire with it, and I'm already getting controller drift. That could just be because this one was made for the Wii. and we all know how the Joy-Cons are. So, connecting the controller. Before playing, plug your controller into the first controller socket of the far left side of the front of the control deck. Holding the controller. When playing Rogue Squadron, we recommend that you hold the controller in the position shown at right. This lets you operate the control stick with your thumb. To control the flight of your craft, you can easily reach the A, B, and C buttons with your right thumb and reach the Z button with your left index finger. Accessories. The game is compatible with the Rumble Pack and N64 expansion pack accessories. Before using the accessories, please read the Rumble Pack and N64 expansion pack instructions booklet carefully. Make sure the control deck is turned off when inserting accessories. Controller settings. Luke's settings default. Let's see here. The L button is to switch our view. Let's see here. Start, pause game at any time. Control pad. Up is cockpit view, right is outside view, down is standard view, left is drop camera. Operate the drop camera for a fixed view in midair. The Z button on back. Brakes, speeders, left brake. Tap button to slow down, hold button, brake button down to drop to minimum speed. The B button is to fire blasters. Hold button down to fire continuously. The R button is to roll speeders, right brake. Speeder. It's gotta be the snow speeder. Rolls X-wing, Y-wing, and A-wing, and is the right brake for the air speeder. It is not used in V-wing. Press the roll button while using the control stick to roll the craft. Continue rolling to fly upside down. Let go of the roll button to fly level again. The C buttons. The C up is to look around. Use the control stick to look side to side. C down is the fire mode. Links blaster cannons to fire more shots at once. Press C to cycle through linking settings for each craft. C left, fire secondary weapons designed to each craft, like missiles. C right, special activate special craft features not available in all craft. The A is the thrust, accelerates craft. Tap button to speed up in a short burst. Hold button down for continuous acceleration. Control stick, and then that's to control the craft's directions. Wedge settings. The L button is fire mode. Control pads up is the same. Z is the same. R is the same. Looks like C buttons are the same. A is thrust instead of brakes. B is the fire blasters, and then the control stick. Jansen settings. L is fire mode. Control pads all the same. Z button is for brakes. Start same. R buttons to roll. C buttons are different. It's switch view is up. Down is look around. Left is fire secondary. And then C right. I guess the C buttons on wedges are different too. A is thrust. B button is fire blasters. Control stick crafts. Hobby settings. We have left is a switch view. Control stick. That's the same. Z buttons to fire blasters. Let's see here. R is to roll. C buttons up is look around. Down is secondary is fire secondary. C left is fire mode. C left is special. A is brakes. B is thrust. I actually might end up using that one. I like the idea of the fire blasters being on the Z button. Anyways, getting started. To fly Rogue Squadron, first make sure that your Nintendo 64 control deck is turned off. Insert the game pack and N64 expansion pack, if applicable, into the control deck. If you have a Rumble pack, insert it in the controller. Slide the power switch to on. This will take you to the title screen, where you'll see start and options. Use your control stick to highlight start and press the A button. This sends you to the select game screen. See game options on page 9 for more information. Selecting or creating game. At the select game screen, you will see 3 slots for saved games. If there is a previously saved game in a slot, a picture of your highest level completed and number of medals earned will be displayed. If the slot is empty, press the start or A button and a row of letters will appear. Move the control stick left or right to select different letters to create a name for your game. Press the A button to enter letters, use B button to delete them. A message will appear asking if you're sure you want to save this new game. Move the control stick left or right to choose between yes or no. To play a game, move the control stick left or right to move the picture of the game you want to play to the upper part of the screen. When the game is highlighted, select by pressing either Start or A. Erasing a saved game. To erase a game at the select game screen, move the control stick left or right to move the game you want to erase to the upper part of your screen. Move the control stick up or down until the erase game is highlighted. Press either the Start or A to erase the game. Select level screen. You'll choose a mission level here. The first mission is Ambush at Mos Eisley. You'll need to complete this mission before you can move on to any higher levels. Press any of the C buttons to get a description of that mission. To select a mission, press Start. Once you've completed a mission successfully, you'll be automatically moved up to the next level. However, you can go back and refly earlier levels you've completed to try for a better medal. And if you're given an unlocked craft to fly at a later level, you can go back and fly earlier levels with it. To scroll through missions you've completed, move the control stick to the left or right. Available craft screen. At this screen, you'll also see outlines of different crafts, with the default craft in the center. These craft will be colored green if you can fly them in the mission you've chosen, and red if you can't. To move on to the next screen, the craft selection screen, press either Start or A button. Once you complete a chapter in Rogue Squadron, you'll find that one of the additional craft in the available craft screen is now unlocked, and it'll be available if you want to fly in missions you've completed. Craft selection. In the craft selection screen, you'll be in front of the default assigned craft you can fly for your selected mission. Move the control stick left or right to get to the next craft. Press one of the C buttons to hear General Reekin's description of that craft. To choose a craft, press Start or the A button. If the craft is available for the mission you've chosen, you'll be flying off into the galaxy. If the craft is not available, you'll hear a clicking sound and you'll need to move on to another craft. You must complete the level in the default craft to continue. Game options. At the title screen, you can choose between Start to begin a new mission, or Options, which lets you adjust game settings and gives you other information about the game. Selecting Options will bring up these choices. Biographies. Read and hear character descriptions of some of the members of Rogue Squadron. Another bio becomes available as the game progresses. To go to the next character description, move the control stick left or right until an arrow or exit are highlighted, then press the Start or A button. Elite Rogues display top rank and medals earned. See page 19 for details. Passcodes. If you win a passcode, enter it here. Move the control stick left or right to enter letters. Press the A button to enter letters. Press the B button to erase letters. When the code is spelled out, move the control stick down to highlight enter code and press Start. A high-pitched chirping means the correct code is entered. You can enter additional codes as well. Sound settings. Use the control stick to adjust. Press A button to select, B to cancel. Options available are music volume, adjust to background music. Sound effects volume, adjust to game sound effects such as explosions. Speech volume, adjusts all voices. Subtitles, turns text display of voices on or off. Stereo, choose stereo or mono. Restore default settings, use custom settings. Back returns to option screen. Controller settings, there are 4 controller configurations. Luke is default. Press the one most comfortable to your piloting style. See page 5 for details. Select a configuration, move the control stick left or right, then press the Start or A button. Press the B button to go back to the previous screen. Game settings, this brings up the following submenu. Auto roll and auto level. These 2 options affect the pitch and roll of your craft. Auto level controls the pitch, which means the direction your craft's nose is pointing up or down. Auto roll determines the craft's rolling or side-to-side motion. Leave these settings on default if you want to automatically right your craft if you get disoriented while flying. Right your craft by letting go of the control stick. Advanced players may want to turn one or both options off. Free camera. Toggles the orientation of the camera between your craft and the ground. If turned on, the camera's roll will follow your craft. If turned off, the camera's roll will be fixed to the ground. Crosshairs turns crosshairs on or off. Oh, that would have been nice in Shadows of the Empire. Resolution: if you own the N64 expansion pack, the option defaults to high resolution, otherwise the option will not appear. Restore default settings. Undo any custom settings and return to the default settings. Back returns you to the options menu. In-flight controls. How to fly. To turn your craft left or right, move your control stick left or right. Keep in mind that different craft handle differently. To loop your X-Wing, Y-Wing, or A-Wing, pull the control stick back or press the control stick forward for your forward loop, but only at high altitude. You won't be able to pull off rolls or loops in Airspeeder or the V-Wing, which hover low to the ground. To fly faster, press and hold the thrust button. You can also tap the button repeatedly to increase your thrust in small amounts. To slow down, press the brake button. Experiment with the thrust and brake since each craft works differently. Camera views. The switch view button lets you change camera positions. Press repeatedly to cycle views. Cockpit view shows the inside of the cockpit of your craft. To look around, move the control stick while pressing the look around button. Close view provides a close view range behind your craft that is fixed to your craft's movement. Standard view, the default camera position, follows your craft from a medium range view. Far view, a view from farther behind your craft. Chase cam provides a long range view behind your craft that stays parallel to the ground. Camera shortcuts, the control pad is a shortcut to several camera views. Press up for cockpit, right for close, down for standard, left for drop camera. Drop camera. In this view, the camera is dropped away from the craft and stays where you drop it. Your craft will fly away from your camera, but you'll still be able to control your craft. Fly too far, the camera will automatically catch up. Okay. Damage indicator. In the upper left-hand corner of your screen or in your cockpit mode, you'll see a small icon of your ship. If it is in perfect condition, the icon will be green. As your craft takes damage, the icon will change color from green to yellow to orange to a pulsing pale red. When it turns red, your craft is about to be destroyed. The number of damage indicator shows how much ships you have remaining. In an X-Wing or Y-Wing, you have an R2 unit on board to repair some damage to your craft. However, if your damage indicator is in the red, your R2 unit will not be able to help you because it has been knocked out of action. Radar screen. The round overlay in the upper right-hand corner helps you locate Imperial targets and Rebel forces. In cockpit view, the radar is built into the craft's console. The radar looks down over the terrain with your craft in the center, represented by a green triangle. The high mountainous areas are shaded dark, while the low-lying areas are shaded light. Green dots show Rebel forces, blue dots represent neutral forces, red dots indicate enemy craft and weapons. Objective Finder. When you begin your mission, you'll see a colored pie wedge shaped area on your radar screen. This wedge will point you towards your mission objectives. Move your craft so that this wedge is in the upper or 12 o'clock position and keep flying north in that direction. As you get closer to your mission destination, the wedge will widen and will disappear when you reach your objectives. If you fly away from the objectives, the wedge will reappear. Special craft functions. Pressing the special button on your controller activates special functions on several craft in Rogue Squadron. On the X-Wing, pressing this button opens and closes the S-foils. Close S-foils for more speed, but they must be open to fire weapons. On the V-Wing, this button gives you an extra burst of speed from its scramjets, and on the Y-Wing, this button fires ion cannons. Hold down the button for maximum ion power. The ion cannon, the special weapon for the Y-Wing, uses blue blasts of ionized energy, which overload and fuse the circuits of ships' weapons, shields, and engines, effectively knocking them out of action and sometimes destroying smaller targets. An ion cannon needs some time to charge to full power, and if you use it before it's fully charged, your ion blast will be less effective. Charge the ion cannon by holding down the special button. Pausing and ending your game. You can pause the game anytime during your mission by pressing start. This brings up this pause screen with a list of mission goals you need to accomplish, along with your choices below. Move the control stick up or down and press the A button to make your selection. Press start or the B button to return to the pause screen. Press the start again to resume your mission. Continue returns you to the point in the game where you left off. Abort level stops your current game and returns you to the level screen selection screen. If you abort the mission without completing it, the mission fails and one ship is deducted from your refly when you refly it. Game settings. This brings up a list of game settings, many of which you've seen in the earlier options menu. See page 9 for details. Options here include displays, adjust screen overlays, radar damage to secondary weapon icons, turn off to hide all icons on screen. Cockpit turn off if you want to hide the cockpit. I want to do that. Nah, I can understand why though. What if you go down during a mission? You'll start the game with 3 ships. If your ship is destroyed, 1 ship is deducted and you'll re-enter your mission near the point where you were downed. When all your ships are lost, you'll be returned to the level selection screen and you'll have to restart the mission or select a different one. Player craft. In the craft selection screen, press one of the C buttons for detailed craft descriptions. The X-Wing is named for its unique double-layered wings, or S-foils. The ship is one of the most versatile weapons in the Rebel Alliance. In combat, its S-foils are open to give it greater maneuverability. These S-foils are closed during normal flight so it can fly faster while pulling off advanced aerobatics such as rolls. The X-Wing is formidably armed with high-powered blaster cannons in its wingtips, plus proton torpedo launchers on its main space frame. With its reinforced titanium alloy hull and high-powered shield generators, the X-Wing can take a barrage of minor hits and still keep flying. The A-Wing is the fastest starfighter in the Rebel Alliance. An A-Wing can outrun most ships in the Imperial Navy, making it ideal for Rogue Squadron's hit-and-run missions. Its powerful armament include twin-wing-mounted pivoting blaster cannons and concussion missiles. Although the A-Wing is highly maneuverable in dogfights, it cannot sustain much damage, and its cockpit design exposes its pilot to enemy fire. The Y-Wing is a cross between a fighter and a bomber. The Y-Wing formed the backbone of the Rebel Alliance starfighter fleet prior to the introduction of the X-Wing. The workhorse Y-Wing is larger, slower, and less maneuverable than the X-Wing and has difficulty against more agile Imperial craft. However, it is extremely durable and heavily armed with blasters, an ion cannon, and bombs, making it ideal for bombing and strafing runs against surface targets. And usually the Y-Wing is a 2-piloted craft as well. Same thing with this, well, not they call it the Airspeeder, but the Snowspeeder. The Airspeeder, a nickname for the Incom T-47, this craft made a valiant defense at the Battle of Hoth against the Imperial forces, enabling the rebels to evacuate their base. An airspeeder is limited to low altitudes, is unable to perform elaborate aerobatic maneuvers such as rolls and has no shields. It compensates for this with fast speed and small size and makes it a difficult target for Imperial weapons. This craft is armed with 2 blaster cannons plus a tow cable to tangle AT-ATs. The V-Wing airspeeder, with its light weight and shift speed, the V-Wing has a definite advantage over the airspeeder. It features a scramjet, a huge booster, plus the S special button for big speed boosts. Use the scramjet sparingly or the engines will overheat. The V-Wing's weapons are already linked, so to increase the fire rate with the fire button mode. Are already linked, so increase the okay. These also overheat if used too often. Craft armament. Firing blaster cannons. Most craft in Rogue Squadron are armed with blaster cannons as their primary weapon. Fire your blasters during a mission by pressing the Fire Blasters button. You can tap this button for individual shots or hold it for continuous fire. Most craft in Rogue Squadron have 2 blasters except the X-Wing, which has 4. With the X-Wing, you can fire your blasters separately, fire 2 together, sending pairs of blaster shots, or fire all 4 together, sending out all 4 blasters at once. Press the fire mode repeatedly to cycle between these firing modes. The blasters on the Airspeeder do not have linking capability. You cannot link secondary weapons like missiles. Firing secondary weapons. In addition to blaster cannons, each craft will have secondary weapons. The X-Wing has proton torpedoes, the Y-Wing has bombs, the A-Wing has missiles, B-Wing has cluster missiles, and the Airspeeder has tow cable. To fire these weapons, press the fire secondary button. Acquiring advanced weapons. Throughout the game, there will be secret challenges for discovering new weapon technologies. These technologies will improve the effectiveness of either the primary or secondary weapon systems. After discovering a new technology, the primary secondary system will automatically be upgraded on all appropriate craft. That's pretty cool. Rebel weapons. Primary weapon, the blaster cannon, also known as laser cannon. This is the most widely used weapon in the galaxy. It repeatedly fires bolts of coherent light and intense energy that inflicts significant damage. Secondary weapons. Each craft has a secondary weapon. An icon for the weapon and how many you have available appears at the bottom of the left corner of the screen. Icon appears in the console and cockpit mode. Proton torpedo. A proton torpedo is armed with a proton scattering energy warhead that inflicts heavier damage than an ordinary missile. There is also an advanced version that has a seeking device that allows it to follow a moving target. Concussion missile. When the sublight speed projectile hits home, it creates a powerful shockwaves that can penetrate even the heaviest armor to obliterate the target. These air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons are most effective against stationary targets. A concussion missile will travel in a straight line once it's fired and can only be fired one at a time. These are not as powerful as protons, and seeking and advanced versions are available. Cluster missiles. Each of these weapons breaks apart into 5 smaller warheads shortly after launch. This results in a spread effect that increases the chance of hitting target or inflicting more damage. A seeking version is available. Bombs. Only the Y-Wing is armed with these destructive weapons, which can be dropped on ground targets. They have a large blast radius, so to inflict heavy damage over a wide area. Bombs can damage your own craft if dropped at a low altitude. An advanced version is available. Tow cables. Airspeeders are fitted with a harpoon gun that launches a high-powered barbed projectile attached to a retractable flex steel tow cable. Imperial crafted defenses. Armored hover train. With cars heavily defended by numerous gun emplacements and missile turrets, strafing runs against a small target are difficult at best. The AT-AT, short for all-terrain armor transport. The four-legged Imperial walker strikes terror in the hearts of any defender. His mechanized beast is armed with blaster cannons underneath its chin and medium blasters on each side of its head. And it has thick armor plating protected from most types of artillery fire. Try to wrap a tow cable around the legs of the AT-AT with an airspeeder to bring this behemoth down. You know, it's funny. They say it's so powerful and whatnot, but like honestly, like I don't see the benefit of it. They go down pretty easily with the tow cables. I don't know. The AT-PT, short for all-terrain personal transport, the small two-legged weapon system, has the ability to climb up 45-degree mountains and hills. The AT-PT houses 1 or 2 soldiers, surrounding them with thick, heavy armor in its central command pod. It is armed with a twin blaster cannon. The AT-ST, short for all-terrain scout transport, the chicken-like walker is used to support Imperial ground troops and protect the vulnerable underbelly of the AT-AT walkers. Since it balances on 2 legs, the 2-person AT-ST is more unstable than the AT-AT, but its superior speed and formidable firepower more than makes up for this weakness. Imperial probe droid, the reconnaissance device was used by Darth Vader to locate the rebel base on the Hoth. It can move quickly across planet surfaces and is programmed to detect life forms and signs of habitation. The Imperial probe droid is armed with a blaster device. Imperial landing craft, this heavily armored assault ship, devotes 2/3 of its power to its shields, making it extremely difficult to destroy. Tank droid, designed to stop civil unrest on Imperial worlds, this fully automated combat vehicle driven by a droid brain is the brutal urban assault machine. TIE fighter, powered by twin ion engines, a TIE fighter's advantages are its excellent maneuverability and its small profile, which makes it a difficult target to hit. However, these advantages come at a steep price. Since it has no shields, no hyperdrive system, and no other weapons besides forward-mounted blaster cannons, a direct hit on one of these can usually destroy it. TIE Bomber. A TIE Bomber is armed with 2 front-firing blaster cannons and can drop a variety of payloads including bombs, guided concussion missiles, orbital mines, and thermal detonators. TIE Interceptor. The dagger-shaped starfighter is more than a match for the Rebel craft, since it's nearly as fast as an A-Wing and more maneuverable than the X-Wing. The TIE Interceptor's weapons include 4 blaster cannons with advanced targeting software for greater accuracy. Since the TIE Interceptor has little armor and no shield generators, it can easily be destroyed with a few direct hits. Wave Skimmer, like its name implies, this attack hydrofoil was designed to operate above the water surface at high speeds. Originally built around the frame of an AT-AT, a Wave Skimmer is far more maneuverable than its land-bound counterpart. So it's like the size of an AT-AT? Interesting. Shield Generator, a device that produces the power needed to create and maintain deflector shields and to focus those shields around a given object. Whenever there is a shield that cannot be breached, there is sure to be a shield generator nearby. Destroying the generator is a sure way to take out the shield. Radar Dish, a rotating dish that alerts the Empire to incoming enemies. Destroying radar dishes can limit the Imperial's ability to crack your craft. Radar dishes can also function as general communication devices. Turbo Laser. Turbo lasers are the backbone of the Imperial planetary defense throughout the galaxy. These stationary cannons fire twin blasters strong enough to take out any fighter or infantry. Missile Turret. Advanced ground-based defensive weaponry used to protect important Imperial facilities. These turrets fire powerful missiles that home in on their targets and rarely miss. The destructive capability of these missiles should not be underestimated. Scoring. At the end of your mission, you will come to the tally screen and see how well you performed. If you failed or absorbed the mission, or aborted the mission, one ship will be subtracted. To advance in the game, fly the mission again until you are successful. If you're successful meeting your mission objectives, you will be awarded a medal depending on how well you performed. Performance will be judged based on the categories shown in the chart below. If you score high enough in these categories, you will be rewarded either a bronze, silver, or gold medal. So you have completion time, which obviously is how long you took to finish your mission. The quicker the better. Enemies destroyed, the number of Imperial spacecraft and weapons you've knocked out of action. Accuracy, how many of your shots hit the intended target. Friendly saves, the number of friendly craft or structures that successfully completes or survives the mission. Bonus collected, whether or not you collected all power-ups on the level. Minimum score for each category you need to earn the next medal will be displayed in the column of the right of your score. Winning medals is very important because it is the way you get promoted in rank. You receive bonuses if you win a particular medal type on all levels. Bonuses, when available, are included in your tally. Any new technology discovered on a level will also be displayed in text format, and you'll have improved weaponry for the rest of the game. Missions. Chapter 1, Ambush at Mos Eisley. The mission takes place on Luke Skywalker's home planet of Tatooine, a bleak, forbidding desert world scorched by twin suns in the Outer Rim. Tatooine has recently been colonized due to its strategic location. Recently? Okay. I'm pretty sure it's not recent. Tatooine has recently been colonized due to a strategic location near several hyperspace routes. Its largest spaceport city, Mos Eisley, is a crossroad for interstellar commerce and populated with pirates, thieves, and smugglers. Rendezvous at Barkesh. You'll fly this mission on Barkesh, a planet noted for its hot, humid, tropical jungles in the southern regions. The local resistance there is transporting supplies desperately needed by the rebellion. The Empire will do everything in its power to stop the transfer and has posted Imperial scoutwalkers in the planet's canyons. The search for the Noah. In this mission, you'll be flying over the lakes of Korax, trying to locate a downed rebel ship. In a race against the Imperials looking for the ship as well. The Korax system is located in the Redshuk sector and contains one medium-sized star and one planet. It is a haven for pirates and smugglers. Defection at Corellia. The planet is home to Han Solo, General Krix Medine, and Rogue Squadron's own Wedge Antilles, with its rolling hills, immense oceans, and cities with wide open spaces. Corellia is a pleasant spot in the galaxy. The Corellian system is known for its fast ships, wily traders, and pirates. The planet's extensive shipyards attracted the attention of the Empire, who then invaded and occupied it. The Liberation of Gerard 5. This mission pits you against a skilled Imperial ace, Cassian Moore. You'll be flying over Gerard 5, a planet whose surface is covered by deserts and oceans. Its topography is dominated by steep raised areas called towers and low-lying depressions known as saddles. Populated by rebel supporters, Gerard 5 once revolted against the Empire, but this insurrection was crushed by the orbital bombings from Imperial Star Destroyers. Chapter 2, The Jade Moon. You'll begin your next mission on a moon of Lornar, home to construction facilities where the Empire's biggest warships and special weapons platforms are built. The moon's surface is punctured by rocky valleys, deep canyons, and craters. The Imperial construction yards. The mission sends you over the facilities of Balmora, a factory planet that builds advanced weapons of destruction for the Imperial forces. Located at the outer edge of the galactic core in the Nivota system, Balmora's plains are marked with numerous canyons and mountains and, of course, industrial buildings. Although occupied by the Empire, the inhabitants of Balmora long for independence and free markets from the renowned market weapons technology. Assault on Kyle 2. On this planet, you'll be attacking the Imperial Enclave, an enormous facility that supports the Empire's naval operations in that sector of the galaxy. The surface of Kyle 2 is marked by canyons and large enclosed areas, where you'll find the Imperial spaceport, a long-range sensor post, and troop barracks. Rescue on Kessel. This mission takes you to the reddish potato-shaped planet of Kessel, where the planet has a notorious prison facility. Kessel surface is covered with salt flats and pockmarked by deep craters and mines. The thin atmosphere of this inhospitable planet is barely breathable, so special factories have been built to generate oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. Prisons of Kessel. In this mission, you'll once again fly over Kessel, the only planet with glitter stem spice is produced. This valuable substance is prized for giving telepathic abilities to anyone who consumes it, although users can become addicted to it. Before joining the rebel forces, Han Solo used to smuggle glitter stem spice from Kessel. The Empire uses forced labor to mine this spice and guard it heavily. Chapter 3, Battle Above Talran. In this high-altitude mission, you'll be flying in the cloudy atmosphere of Talran, an enormous gas planet with a strong magnetic field in the Kelvine system of the expansion region. The planet's Tabana gas is breathable at high altitudes, and you'll also be used in the production of weapons. I guess it's not Bespin. Escape from Fest. This mission takes you on a planet in the R-type sector in the Outer Rim near the Mantuine system. Enormous steep mountains and valleys punctuate this landscape. Atop one of those mountains, the Empire has a secret weapons research facility where experiments are conducted to create new metal alloys. Among the inhabitants of Fest are a resistance group who opposes the Empire. Blockade on Chandrilla. You and Rogue Squadron will call on the rural agricultural planet of Chandrilla in the Bormia sector of the core worlds. The sparsely populated, naturally beautiful planet has two large continents surrounded by oceans, with vast plains covered by grasses and forests. While the inhabitants of Chandrilla are peace-loving, they have openly supported the rebels against the Empire. Raid on Solus. In this mission, you'll fly through a thick, hot, dark clouds over Solus, a bleak volcanic planet in the Solar System. With the planet's surface shrouded in toxic gases, the millions of Solusians have created a large underground network of caves and cities. These beautiful subsurface cities, the subsurface sites, are popular tourist attractions. The Sultans are friendly, outgoing creatures with jowls, mouse-like ears, and large round eyes who are prized as navigators since they never forget a path they've traveled. Moff Círdan's Revenge. The locale of this mission is Thyfera, a foggy, humid world with thick tropical rainforests. The Polith system planet is inhabited by the insect-like Vrax, who developed a remarkable fluid called Bacta. This miracle liquid can heal every medical condition from a scratch to life-threatening emergency. Not surprisingly, Bacta has become more sought after the medical clinics throughout the galaxy and by cartels that seek to control the galactic Bacta industry to reap huge profits. Chapter 4, The Battle of Kalmari. In this all-out encounter with the Empire, Rogue Squadron will do battle on Mount Kalmari, a planet almost completely covered by water. This marine world is inhabited by two species, the peaceful Mount Kalmari, who live on islands and the floating cities, and the Wari Kren, who live deep beneath the sea and can breathe both air and water. The Mon Calamari build enormous space starships and warships from their orbiting ship dockyards and are valuable members of the Rebel Alliance. Alright, next up we have characters. Rebels. We have Luke Skywalker. The greatest hero of the Rebel Alliance, Luke Skywalker needs little introduction. Among his accomplishments are blowing up the first Death Star, rescuing his twin princess Leia, and helping defend off the Imperial forces at the Battle of Hoth so that the Rebel base there could be evacuated. After the Battle of Yavin, Luke and Wedge Antilles formed the Rogue Squadron. Wedge Antilles, one of Rogue Squadron's true aces, the native Corellia, was orphaned as a teenager and began smuggling weapons for the rebels. Once he took to flying X-Wing starfighters, he soon proved himself to be a crack fighter pilot and extremely competent, if low-profile, leader. Wedge saved Luke Skywalker during the attack of the first Death Star at the Battle of Yavin. Later, they formed Rogue Squadron together. Dak Rattler, this young Alliance hero, was Luke Skywalker's airspeeder gunner during the defense of the rebel base of Hoth, who is dead now. Dak's parents were political prisoners of the Empire, and he rescued from an Imperial prison barge when he was a teenager. Rattler's skill as both a pilot and a gunner. Wes Jansen, though tough, smart, action-loving lieutenant, was a gunner in Wedge Antilles' airspeeder during the Battle of Hoth and helped bring down AT-AT Walker by tangling its legs in a cable. I think he's dead too. Jansen is a past winner of the True Gunner Award for outstanding accuracy. This rogue is one of those rare soldiers who is as content on the ground as he is in the air and can shoot and fly with tremendous skill. Zev Senska, a highly decorated pilot and longtime member of the Rebel Alliance, Senska shot down 48 Imperial craft prior to the Battle of Hoth. Politically motivated to join the Rebel Alliance, or the Rebel forces, Senska was motivated by a tragedy after his parents were killed by the Empire. Derek Hobby Cliven, the rare pilot who is both extremely capable and extremely humble. Hobby was a former Imperial cadet who mutinied and deserted his Imperial Academy training to join the Rebel Alliance. Hobby has a reputation for enjoying back-to-baths, as well as for crashing every craft he touches and surviving. He just enjoys hanging out back to Carlist Regan, the former officer in the Old Republic Army, joined the Rebel Alliance after his home planet Alderaan was vaporized by the first Death Star. Regan was named theater commander in charge of all Rebel ground and fleet forces in the Hoth system. Forced to evacuate the Hoth base when it was overrun by Imperial forces. After the Hoth evacuation, General Regan was given command of military operations for the Rebel Alliance. Imperials. Crix Medine. This Corellian is a highly decorated Imperial officer. He originally earned his reputation as a brilliant leader in charge of the Storm Commandos, an elite Imperial Army unit. I wonder what that picture is from, because it almost looks like a rebel there. Cassin Moore, this native of Alderaan, was one of the rising ranks in the Imperial Navy, quickly moving up in ranks from crack TIE fighter pilot to leader of the 128th TIE Interceptor Squadron. Ooh, this is a chick. Her allegiance toward the Empire soon wavered, however, when she was informed that her home planet had been obliterated by the Death Star. While she continues to swing herself flying with the 128th, Moore is contemplating defection to the Rebel forces, since she believes that her allegiance to the Imperial forces means nothing if they can coldly destroy her friends and family. Moff Call Sheridan, formerly Kassan Moore's mentor. Imperial Moff Sheridan is now angry at her since he is not sure which side she's fighting for. Moff Sheridan is attempting to consolidate back the supplies under his control and sees Rogue Squadron as a threat to his plans for domination. And this is a text-heavy manual. Let's see here. Flying tips. For a more effective attack, line up your targets by making long, straight runs. Avoid the temptation to make quick turns in pursuit of your targets. Instead, fly far away, then turn around and fly toward your target from a distance using your brakes. You'll be able to keep them in your sights longer and score more hits, but you'll also be in enemy sights. Use the loop maneuver to bear down on your enemy that has passed by you. Find the control configuration and camera views best suited to your flying style. Speeder over V-wing only. For more control and turns, use your right or left brake to tighten your turn in either direction. Use the thrust and brake buttons to match your enemy speed or to more easily attack a ground target. When in doubt, follow your wingmates to mission goals. Pay close attention to directions from General Reekin and your wingmates. Be on the lookout for enemy bombers and attack them before attacking fighters. Bombers do more damage to critical rebel installations. Use your radar screen to fly in the direction towards your mission objectives. Fly so that you always keep the wedge shape oriented to the top of the radar at 12 o'clock. Finally, we have our credits. And it looks like this is going to be copyrighted because we have all these music in here. We have a blank white page. Awesome. And then we have our software license, limited warranty information. It's 95 cents per minute for the Nintendo helpline. I called that quite a bit. And then a warranty from Nintendo 64 Game Pack by Nintendo. Oh, this is the Australian manual. Well, cool. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for this. Like I said, the back of the manual is I showed at the front, so as part of that. Overall, I'm excited to play this game. I love flight sims, and especially like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and stuff like that. So, I mean, obviously, it's not going to be in depth of those games, but I'm still looking forward to that arcade experience in either, in whichever way I can get it. So, all right. Well, I'll see you over in the gameplay section. Until then, take care of yourselves for your hearts. Stay human. May the force be with you. Until then, bye-bye.